everyone and welcome to the Coin Couch. My name is Andrea. Well, originally for this video, I wanted to compare a new release Star Wars coin to a new release Star Trek coin, but I didn't think I'd be the most objective person. So I decided instead to compare Star Trek to Star Trek. Mirror Mirror from the Perth Mint versus 5 Captains from the Royal Canadian Mint. Now when checking out these coins, I'll be looking at 3 major areas: design and color, mintage and tender, and the fan factor. Taking a closer look at the packaging, information, and also the wow factor of the coin. So here we go. First up is Mirror Mirror from the Perth Mint. So you can see there the branding on the box is really quite good. Got your Star Trek logo there. It looks like they were able to obtain some of those licensed images. You can see the coin itself is very well protected here. I should add that this box has actually come out of a cardboard box. So they have thought about this container and the coin itself when shipping. There you have your certificate of authenticity, again with the Star Trek logo. And it looks like they have a lot of information in here about that Mirror Mirror series. And again, a lot of original images. There's all your stats on the back of the certificate of authenticity there. 1 ounce silver, 99.99 fineness, and 3000 mintage. Now getting into the box, which I know a lot of you have already seen with past Perth Mint issues. This box is very popular. I believe that's the Delta symbol there on the front to click it open. Please correct me. As I said, I am more of a Star Wars girl. Pops are open. Now the light should be coming on, so maybe the button on the bottom isn't turned off. We'll check that out in just a minute. So looking at the coin more closely now. Now I have to admit, I really like the way they've done their coloring here. Sticking to just a basic 3 colors. I think it makes the silver in the coin stand out. Obviously the detail on the facial features looks really good. Turning it over and looking at the reverse now, of course, Queen Elizabeth II. No surprise there because this is a Perth Mint product, but it's been done on Tuvalu. You've got all the coin stats there. 1 ounce, 4.9 as I said before, and of course 2017. Back over there to the obverse. The printing itself on the coin looks really smooth. Personally, when I always look at a color coin, I look at how the printing has gone around the edges, so where the color meets the silver itself, and here looks quite seamless. Just by using those 3 colors, they've actually really paid tribute to the retro theme and stayed with that. So I think it turned out really well. Really liking the detail and the finish on this. Almost looks like it's just been lightly frosted on the facial areas. Now back to the box, we all know it's meant to light up. That's where the light goes, around that ring. Up, so the switch is there. Try and turn that on, get that working. Maybe it was switched off on the box and the battery was low. Don't know. What's going on? Back to there, try it. No go, no idea. Now moving on to 5 Captains from the Royal Canadian Mint. So straight off, this box is quite impressive as well. Got a protected plastic seal there, Royal Canadian Mint logo, and the Star Wars Delta symbol there. I do like the image on the box as you open it and split it in half, and the coin is right on top there, and that's the first thing you see when you enter that box. Now the colouring here on this coin is quite nice. It is always difficult when you're colouring real life images. Really do enjoy these Canadian Mint reverses because they do put a lot of detail into the reverse of their coin. As you can see there, that's $30. Back to the obverse. And yeah, they really have done a good job with the skin colour, the skin tones there. It's always difficult. But I'm really not a big fan of how they've, just the edges, as I was saying before about the colour where it meets the edges. Could have been finished a little bit better than that. Anyway, moving on now to the certificate. There you go. So it's just your regular Royal Canadian Mint certificate, your standard there. All their details. And then you have a little bit of information about the coin itself there. The Star Trek captains, etc. And of course, for those of you that can read French, please feel free. I'm still trying to tackle German. I won't be moving on to French anytime soon. Just taking a closer look at that coin now, you can see underneath the raised areas. Now this coin is a glow-in-the-dark coin. But just there is some of the pattern that actually glows in the dark underneath that coloured image. And that's why it may have been an extra challenge colouring this coin. And this one I believe has a mintage of 5,000 pieces. So there you have it once again. You've got your 5 captains coloured on there. And the other parts that haven't been coloured are cameo. Alrighty, now it's time to add all those scores up. For colour and design. Well, personally, I find the Perth Mint colouring a little bit more attractive. As I mentioned, it is an extra challenge when you're actually trying to do real people, skin tones, etc. But still, I think the finish on the Perth Mint coin stands out more for me. I'm just not enjoying the lines around the coloured objects on the Royal Canadian Mint coin where they meet the cameo. I just not happy with that personally. So I'm going to give the Perth Mint coin for colour and design. I'm actually going to give it 5 from 5. And Royal Canadian Mint, I think you guys have tried your best here, but it's just not kicking a goal for me. 3 from 5. Moving on now to mintage and tender. Well, obviously with mintage, we're always going to pick the one that's lower. I think that stands out a bit more. So that will be the Perth Mint coin here with 3,000. Royal Canadian Mint's still a relative mintage with 5,000, but obviously, hey, if you can get lower, then go for that. Now, as for the tender, I'm not a big fan of minting coins with other countries' tenders, unless it's for a specific reason. But here, I really don't see the significance between Tuvalu and Star Trek. You know, maybe someone else out there knows the link, but I'm not really seeing it. So I will have to mark Perth Mint down for that. So the fact that the Royal Canadian Mint is actually pressing this Star Trek coin on Canadian legal tender makes it better for me in my eyes. So for this particular round, we're going to give Perth Mint 3 out of 5 and Royal Canadian Mint 4 out of 5. Packaging and info. Now the outer packaging for both of these products I think is really well done. Perth Mint, obviously they've gotten all the images there, Star Trek logo, and it matches with the rest of their Star Trek series, so that's nice as well. Royal Canadian Mint is also sticking with the Star Trek theme, obviously. I really do like the detail that they put into opening this box, and I think it's really elegant the way that they've worked in their logo with the sort of theatrical Star Trek theme as well. Now, although the Perth Mint has used this box before, I don't think it's a bad thing. If you've got them, why not keep using them? And if it works with the series, then it's no problem. Royal Canadian Mint, I do like the way it opens, and they've got the 2 deltas either side, kind of giving you a sneak peek of what that delta is going to look like when it's glowing. The information in both of these packages about the coins. Now, sorry, but again, Perth Mint has stood out here. This is actually really going after the collector, so a little bit more information about the series, some fun facts, and the original images. So as a fan, I could see this one being a little bit more appealing because of those images and story in there. The Royal Canadian Mint, of course, they've got a nice certificate, their regular one that they use, but you would think with a special series like Star Trek, they may have done something a little bit more different. So for packaging and info, I'm going to give the Perth Mint 4 out of 5, and I'm going to give the Royal Canadian Mint 3 out of 5. Now, I should mention that this box actually did work. Once you turn it on, you're meant to open it and then it lights up. So that's my bad, but we will say that they've done well because it actually does work. Now, as for the Royal Canadian Mint, of course, making a glow-in-the-dark coin with colour as well would be a bit more of a challenge. I've had problems in the past filming glow-in-the-dark coins, so that was obviously very hard to capture, but I will add, I actually found this hard seeing it in the dark, and I had this under a light for about 20 minutes before trying to see it just with my eye. The coins that I had photographed or tried to video in the past, I could manage to take a photo and it would capture the glow in the dark, but video just wouldn't work. But this one, the delta symbol lit up a little bit, but the rest of the image as it appears online did not show up and I had a lot of trouble seeing it. So if you haven't already guessed, the winner is the Perth Mint with Mirror Mirror. So when we put all of those scores together, the Perth Mint received 12 from a possible 15, and the Royal Canadian Mint still up there, but 10 from a possible 15. Now, although both of these coins would appeal to Star Trek fans, I'm sure, I just found that the Perth Mint had a fully rounded product, so every aspect of this would appeal, I feel, to a Star Trek fan. They'd really ticked every box here, and I think they've done a great job. Well, there you have it, but to be fair, I am more of a Star Wars girl, so what do I know? If you are a Star Trek fan and you'd like the opportunity to win this USS Enterprise bottle opener received at a Perth Mint function, let me know by writing #Trekkie in the comments section. And why not tell me which one of these coins you would choose? As always, you have to be a subscriber if you want a chance to win this little guy, and I will do the drawing on next Monday's episode of the Coin Couch, so I hope to see you then. Bye! Or bye. Just stay like that. Ooh. Live long and prosper.